Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another set of conspiracy theories. So, let's hit it off with a twist on the Alyssa theory that I've been hearing so much about. A bunch of people have been saying that they think Alyssa is going to be the one to save us because of how many times we save her. And I think that would be cool. But I'd like to deviate from that popular theory and say that possibly it could be bad. We've seen that some decisions that may have seemed good at the time, like erasing the cop's message, can turn out to be bad things. So we see that Juliet has been interviewing people. What if she wants an exclusive on Supermax and Alyssa and her get together and Alyssa tells her about all the time she saved her? Could Juliet maybe expose Max's powers because we've been saving Alyssa all of those times? It certainly is possible. Look at all the exposés she's done lately. She is an investigator, she is a journalist. She even calls the Vortex Club a cult before we realize it at all. And I'm pretty sure that that's what the Vortex Club is. It's like a cult. And some of the characters are even calling it a cult. We can see that Juliet is quite deductive and she's very good at theorizing. So it could be possible that she theorizes about Max's powers. Think about it. People saw that Max was in class and probably saw that she was the last one to leave the classroom when Kate was on the roof. However, she ended up on the roof before Kate could jump and she beat David Madsen to it. So if someone like Juliet were to connect the dots, this might expose Max and cause problems in episode 5. I also think that the poem Alyssa tells us after we save her all those times has a lot of significance. The poem is about choice, really. There are so many scholars that have picked apart this poem trying to figure its meaning out in different ways, and there are a bunch of people who interpret it wrong. I don't want to be one of those people because I'm not really great at poetry, but I think that this might be Alyssa telling us the future in a way. I believe there's a lot of meat to this poem in that it's what's going to happen to Max in episode 5. I think that the poem is important because it's Alyssa's way of telling us what's going to happen, like we have for her. Another neat theory I've actually seen on my comment section is Nathan being the one who hit William and caused his death. We can see how Nathan has changed a little bit in the alternate timeline. His jacket's a little different, his demeanor's a bit different. He doesn't seem like he has as many issues. Now, I can only deduce this based on the way we see him in that timeline and how they kind of focus on him and how he's acting right there in front of Vax. Also, the texts, the fact that she's friends with him, he seems like he's at least a better person in that timeline. Why is he so different? Why does William being alive make him so different? What if he were the one who hit William and caused his death? And this led to a domino effect of him having mental and emotional issues because he killed somebody. This is not uncommon. So there's something to think about. Rachel's blood oath. Now let's take a quick listen to Nathan in the diner.
Supposed to keep your mouth shut about the blood oath Frank took for Rachel?
Blood oath? Who? What the fuck? I never told anybody about that freaky shit.
Did he just say freaky shit? He seriously called Rachel's blood oath freaky after all the shit he does in the dark room? What on earth would make Nathan think something is freaky after all the crap he's done in the dark room? With all the dark art and freaky crap in his room, what would Rachel have done that would have freaked him out? Seriously, we cannot ignore this. So, this blood oath must have been very weird, dark, or involved something scary. So what was that? Whose blood did they use? If it was just their own blood, would it have really been that freaky? Maybe they used the blood of an animal for their blood oath, like a deer or a doe. Maybe by doing this, Rachel was bound to said doe in a way. So what was the blood oath for? And what did Frank or Rachel promise to do for each other? Did they promise to always be together or always be there for each other? And that's why her spirit lingers on in doe form? Or did she swear him to secrecy, perhaps, on a certain matter, as maybe her involvement with Jefferson or Nathan? Where did they do it? Where would Rachel and Frank have done this blood oath? Maybe that's how Rachel becomes the spirit doe. So she is bound to Arcadia Bay. She is the spirit doe, and that could be why. Principal Wells likes whiskey. We can see the bottle in his office during Chaos Theory. So let's take a look at the dark room. Looks the same, doesn't it? Let me put them side by side. Look at that. So why would Principal Wells' bottle of whiskey be in the dark room? Maybe the developers just used the same bottle of whiskey twice to save artwork. Or maybe the principal knows something. It could have been a gift from Mark Jefferson, or could have bribed him maybe. I think that the principal knows something. Here's something Nathan says that made me think a little bit.
Nobody tells me what to do. Not my parents, not the principal, or that whore in the bathroom.
He mentions his father and Chloe, but he also mentions the principal. What is the principal telling Nathan? Wouldn't he normally just go through Nathan's father? He says this even if you don't report him to the principal. So it seems that the principal has had a talk with him, and Nathan's upset about it. So what did the principal tell him to do or not to do? When Nathan turns around in episode 2, it seems like he's looking back at Jefferson, and it gives him kind of a look like, don't say anything. But maybe he was actually looking at the principal instead, like, don't you say anything, because the principal actually knows. Even Chloe mentions in episode 1 that the principal only cares about money for Blackwell, and she'll explain it all later. I think that the principal knows something is up. He knows that Nathan and possibly Jefferson are in on something dark and are mistreating their positions, but I don't think he's directly involved in anything with the dark room. I think he just knows, and he's keeping his mouth shut because he wants money. The Lighthouse. I believe the Lighthouse will be an important location in episode 5. I believe that a lot of the content of episode 5 is going to be at the Lighthouse. There are a lot of strange things about the Lighthouse. First of all, that's where we are during the tornado vision. The game starts at the Lighthouse. We've got weird glyphs, we've got images and pictures and shirts and quotes.
Back to the lighthouse.
We know that Max and Chloe used to go there when they were kids. Max mentions it all the time. The lighthouse is a big deal in Arcadia Bay. So I think that we're going to be going back there. The lighthouse is going to be very important in episode 5. There's something I've been thinking about lately. The dark room is a bunker under an old barn. What if the lighthouse is the light side to the dark room? Dark room, lighthouse. What if that's where all the good stuff happens? There was more to that old barn than just what you see on the outside. So what if there's more to the lighthouse than what we see on the outside? So I think that we're going to be going back there a lot. I think that that is where a pivotal point in episode 5 is going to take place. We're going to make a choice there. Well, I hope you all enjoyed these conspiracy theories. Thank you, everyone, for submitting some comments for me to brainstorm off of. I appreciate it, and feel free to keep theorizing in my comments. I love it. I love reading them, and I love building off of other theories. So feel free to disagree with me, feel free to theorize on your own, just have fun. Polarized is coming out soon, so hopefully we're going to get answers to a bunch of our questions in that. And thanks for watching, everyone.